This video is brought to you by the 9% and is powered by Petty Vision Productions. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
We'll talk about playing the victim, right? Let's break it down. I like breaking things down to the atom because when we do that, we get a clear understanding what we're dealing with. Look, we keep going through the same things with people. It's people who got all these different types of personalities because that's what it is. That's how we identify them because individual people. So we just got to know who to interact with and who not to. Who can we interact with and who can't we interact with? And that's just at the end of the day, you just have to know. The knowledge is the power of knowing. If you don't know, then you don't know. If you get the opportunity to learn the information, take it, because guess what? You got to deal with it one way or another. So that's what we're doing. So we're going to break down what is a victim. Right? What is playing a victim? It is the fabrication or the exaggeration of victimhood for a variety of reasons as to justify abuse to others, to manipulate others, a coping strategy, attention seeking, or diffusion of responsibility. So there's a lot of many different reasons why people play the victim. But we understand, the two key words, fabrication. People make things up. People create enemies. People create situations. People over-exaggerate situations. In my lifetime, I've seen people lose their life for stepping on somebody's shoe and not saying, excuse me, quick enough. Not saying it, literally in the process, like, oh, wow, it's over with. Just that quick. So, we understand it's for various reasons why people do it, why people play, right? So just understand, there's people out there, playing the victim. And we run into them all the time. And good-hearted people, what do? We try to help people. And then we become the victim. The victim become the victimizer at times. You have helped somebody and then they turn around and stab you in the back like, hold on, I was helping you. If I would have just ignored you and not dealt with you and let you suffer, I would have been all right. I've been in that situation a couple times, in reality, in real life, not on here. I learned from all that. I learned from putting my nose into places that don't need to be. And I learned the hard way. Stuff that happened on here, it can be serious. Stuff can get serious on here, but after living and then having those experiences and coming on here, a lot of that stuff for me, it's not that serious. You'll get people on here who never been through nothing in life. They've been sitting on the porch their whole life. Now they grown, they want to jump off on the internet. How you wait till you get grown to become a gangbanger? There's people like that. They wait till they get older, and then when they're older, they still trying to gangbang. Like, come on now, man. They're over. Mature, be yourself. And that work with, men and women. There's some women on here, like, you wait till you get older to be a thought. Like, you should have did that in your youth. It's too late for all that. Nobody want that. But that's just how it be, right? So, there's different types of personality. You will run into all different types of people. But tonight we're talking about the victims we run into. People playing the victim. People who over-exaggerate and fabricate situations for various reasons. So, we know they do it for various reasons, but like I said, we're going to break it down, so we need to know why. Let's get into their head, right? Why do people do this? And this is just 4 reasons. There's more reasons than that. you look it up, you probably find 7, 8 different reasons, probably more than that. You know, because again, it's everyone does it for a different reason. Some people do it to manipulate others, right? So you go get a variety of people playing the victim, but they doing it for different reasons. So you have to identify because some are dangerous than the other. Someone trying to manipulate you is more dangerous than someone trying to avoid responsibility. You know, so you have to understand. I'm not gonna say any of it is harmless, but you might think you're dealing with one level and you're dealing with a whole different beast, dealing with a whole horse of a different color. Attention seeking is one, you know, and then to justify the abuse of others is another one. But what Juju just said too, that's another major one I left. Thought I put that on the list, but I didn't. That's another major one, right? That one right there. Um, helps them cope. You know, even in the original definition. You know, even when we showed the original definition, the coping strategy, right? I appreciate that, Juju. You know, that's why I love my people because if your boy's slipping, I got them break minds dropping sauce in the chat too. But that's another major one, right? We gonna rap about that one a little bit. But it's a coping mechanism. Like I said, some people they do it for various reasons. I'm not gonna say it's harmless, but this is just the nature of some people. Most of these people got real low self esteem. You know, they have low self esteem. Like I said, people can be playing a victim for malicious reasons, or people can be playing a victim because they need the attention. You know, you see that on here. Think about that on here. The people who play the victim, like we was talking about the brick lady, right? She played the victim so well, she got paid $30,000 or $40,000, however much she got. But she played the victim so well, she got paid for it. She got that attention. She pulled on them heartstrings. People felt bad for her. Sent her money. She got a house. I didn't know she had a house donated to her. But you, but you see what I'm saying? The power of emotion. You know, people feel for people. You know, you feel for people so much, you can get a house donated. That's wild. But people feel for other people. So that's why people manipulate and pull on people's heartstrings. And it's easy because trauma, that's a universal understanding. We all go through it. So, especially the ones who make it through, we want to help other people make it through because sometimes people help us, you know, make it through the trauma. So we want to play it forward. And that's the right thing to do, honestly. We need one another. We got to help one another. We should desire. It's just we have to be careful. We have to be selective. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, people, you can't save the world. You can save people in it, but you can't save it. You can't save the world, but you can help some people in it. You know, so we have to be careful because there's people out here. And it's like I said, we all go through trauma, so we can relate. You know, but the fourth one right here, you know, so we got a prime example of attention seeking. That's probably the most common, easiest one to spot, right? When people doing it to seek attention. But this one right here, to justify the abuse of others, that's the like I said, it levels to everything, right? So you got hot and cold. Some of them cold, you know, they're annoying, you know. People trying to avoid responsibility, even people attention seeking, you know, they more annoying. But when you got people playing the victim to justify what they do to other people, then you got a problem. those people are dangerous because a lot of times, like I said, people will create an enemy. They will create a villain just so someone can victimize them and somebody else can come and save them and justify the abuse of the other person. They might not be strong enough to fight this person, but if they play victim, somebody stronger will come along and help them. They might not be smart enough. There's a lot of different reasons why people don't like other people. People get jealous of people and set them up, right? This happened to me a couple times. I had this dude. The second time, that's when I kind of figured it out. Second time it occurred, but I had this boy, right? And like growing up, I was more like the enforcer of the group, right? But this dude, every time we went out, he would get into an altercation. I ain't gonna say every time, because I only went out with him like 3 or 4 times. But he'd get into an altercation. And one time, like, it got physical. Like, the other times, it's like, we can walk away. But one time, it got physical. And it was different from the first time, because he kind of was like one of them chihuahuas who bark and then run behind the big dog. Like, the dog would run out, the little dog would run out from the back of the house and bark. And when you chase it in the back, you got this big, massive dog. He used to do that. Well, he did that. And, it was an altercation. But the second time, it was like I kind of figured he was doing it on purpose. And I thought he did it because, he knew I was going to defend him. But then later on, I found out that he never liked me. So it just started making me think like he was setting me up. That's just how I felt. I don't know if that's confirmed, but it makes sense. If you don't like me, why are you trying to keep getting me into altercation? People will put you in position to fight their battles. And people will put other people in positions just to battle. There's different ways people abuse other people, different ways we as humans abuse one another. But I think the most effective way to abuse someone is emotionally. Those are some of the scars that don't heal. I think that's what does the most damage to a person is emotional damage. Is because your emotions help create thoughts. So if your emotions are compromised, so are your thoughts. If your thoughts are compromised, the way you perceive life is. You can get someone who's physically damaged and they can be in high spirits. Hard to get someone in high spirits that's emotionally damaged. So we got to be careful on that justifying abuse. So how do we identify people playing victim? This should be fun. I got 10 of them on there, but we can add a lot more. Because honestly, it's not really hard. The hardest part is taking our emotions out and logically looking at things. Oops. Is actually removing our emotions and logically looking at it. Because sometimes it's hard to see people playing the victim if we like them. We might look at it like they're a victim. But constantly blaming others for their problem. We know people like this. Every time something happens, it's somebody else's fault. Somebody else's fault. I know people who blame stuff that they do now on their parents. Well, they did this when I understand that concept. But at some point, we have to be adults. You can't be in your 30s and 40s blaming mom and dad. You had the opportunity to correct it, and you didn't. So now that weight bears on you. It was things I didn't have, people I didn't have in my life, relationships I didn't have. I don't blame nothing I did. I took accountability for everything. Not even the people who put me in the situations, I let them. I still chose to do, no matter how you look at it. Even if somebody forced you, you did it. That sounds crazy. Even if somebody forced, it's the action. If you have a choice of life and death and you have to do something, you still chose to live. So you take accountability and learn from it. Don't get yourself put in situations like that. That's what I had to learn. Even if I was put in a position, if I didn't do something, it could have cost me. I had to understand not to put myself in compromising positions like that. Why am I in this environment that this is happening? Why am I around these people that this is happening? I can say anybody said anything or did anything and forced me to do something. But at the end of the day, why am I around them? I have to take accountability for minimum that. Dramatize insignificant event. You know, he's talking about over exaggerating. I know there's something that I see all the time. Like, I don't think it was that serious. like, I don't really think it's that serious. But people over dramatize things. People make something small, something big. That's what I always say. Anytime you're in conflict, especially with somebody you like, if you cool with somebody, or if y'all was cool at some point, and y'all getting some time, just create space. Hey, let's calm down. You know, create space. I always do that. Like if I feel like me and somebody I'm cool with, things is getting a little touchy. Let's create some space. Spend some time away from each other. You might look at things differently. You might even miss the person and realize whatever it is ain't that serious. You know, I had some friends that we got into it, then a year went past, like, you know what, man, it ain't even that serious. And you come back together, everybody apologizing, like, damn, I missed you. Like, yeah. Sometimes when you create space, maybe the thing ain't that important. Maybe the friendship is more important than the incident. And then you find reasons to get over it because maybe you going through something. Maybe they going through something. So I always thought it was smart to create space. That's why y'all always hear me say that. Just create some space. The realest one in the building. What up? Appreciate you, bro. They need excessive attention. People who just need attention all the time. All the time. They need attention. You gotta be careful. Especially on here, man. Ain't nobody need that much attention. You should have it in real life. You gotta come on the internet, on the app to get attention, then you need to reevaluate something. That's just my personal opinion. I know everybody's life and circumstances is different, but I gotta come on here just to get attention. I need to understand what's going on around me. Maybe I need to change the environment, Blaming others or situations for their actions, it's not the same thing as the problem. Now we're talking about, I'm doing this because of this. I'm doing this because of that. That justification. We was talking about that's probably the most dangerous point that I put up there. Was people playing the victim to justify what they do, the abuse that they do to people. So blaming others for their actions coincide with that. So you have to definitely be careful. and be aware and see it. And I just tell you this. I'm just being real. When you see people do things, the actions that people do, that's what they do. That's not. They're doing it. It's an action. Something being done. So there's two things to look at. Is this common? Is this normal behavior, or is it a stimulant? Is it something causing it? Because if it's common, then that's who they are. If it's a stimulant, then you understand if you decide to interact with that person, not to do that. That's why it's important to be aware and understand people. When you choose to deal with people, you need to understand them. If you don't, then that's your fault. Can't blame nobody else. Everything and everyone is against me. Everything and everyone. The world, the world is against me. The sky is falling. Those type of people. Ain't never nothing good. Ain't never nothing good. My uncle used to say that. Like my cousin, he a victim. He got the whole mentality. He do it for attention. Because every time he come around, he got some sad story to tell. And that's another one. People who like to share their misery. Ain't nothing wrong with sharing what you're going through. Nothing wrong with that. But people who do it specifically for attention, you can tell. Sometimes people, we all tell each other what we're going through. That's normal. That's how we get support. That's how we get help. But people who beat it in you, and usually you can tell because they're trying to get something out of you. Not the people who just talk, but the people, oh, you know, uh, this is happening to me. I can't pay my bills this month. Oh, those people, not the people who actually going through stuff, who come through for support. But you can tell the people who's trying to get things from you, because even I got friends who call me every day. They tell me what they going through. My wife tell me but they ain't playing the victim. They ain't trying to get nothing out of me. They just trying to vent. They need support. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But it's the ones that's trying to, you can, like we talking about uh, peer pressure. We're talking about playing the victim. So they're getting something out of you or trying to. So those people who view everything as a personal attack. You ever talk to someone about somebody else? Or you ever talk to someone in general about a subject and they think you're talking about them? Because they can relate or associate to that. I was telling a story about my ex-wife, and this lady got upset. And she was like, "You dogging women." I'm like, "No, I'm talking about her as an individual." I'm literally telling her, and she took it to heart. And I'm like, "Well, I'm not sorry. She did it. Shit, I didn't tell her to do it. She did it. How you gonna get mad at me for something she did?" I didn't say all women are like that. I'm saying she like that. Yeah, but she a black woman. That don't mean nothing. People from all shapes and color are bad. That's just reality. Just because you got a skin tone will make you better, or make you can't do no wrong. But she took it personal. It hits it on the head. Holding grudges. People who just hold grudges won't let them go. I know people who holding grudges on people who ain't even here no more. These people dead and gone, and they still mad at them. Like, damn, I can't do that. I can't do it. Like, what are you holding on to it for? That's what you got to think. Okay, this happened, it occurred. I understand being upset and mad, but why hold on to it? How does it benefit you? What is it doing for you? nothing but pissing you off even more. So, ruminating and self-pity. I love that word, right? Ruminating, dwelling in it, living in self-pity. Oh, woe is me. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Lack of accountability or responsibility. They just ain't got it. What was that movie Life? Just can't get right. You know, people who just can't, no matter what, and they start using. Imagine the people to use like 4 or 5 of these at the same time. You got people who don't want to take accountability because of somebody else's fault. And the reason why they did it because they was personally attacked and they holding a grudge while they ruminating self-pity. That's a ball of disaster. But no responsibility, no accountability. They just ain't got it. They just can't get right. Just can't get right. Constantly complaining. They have no intentions trying to fix the problem. Actually, at 13, I couldn't fit them all on here, and I didn't want to make another slide. But those people constantly complaining, just complaining. Okay, I hear you. What you gonna do about it? Now, they don't want to talk about solutions. They just want to keep complaining. They just want to keep complaining. They don't want to fix it. It's more funner to complain about it. They get more out of it. All these things, think about it, plays on people's emotion. When people constantly complain about stuff, they can, especially if they feel people attacking them, that'll make you angry if you like the person. It's the different emotions, them heartstrings they be pulling on. Y'all constantly hear me say that, them heartstrings. The reason I say heart is because the emotion and the string is them attaching their self to your heart, to those emotions. And just like a puppet master, they pull the string. And they get you to do whatever. You begin to dance. That's what them heartstrings is. They become the puppet master of your emotions. I tell you, if you ain't controlling them, somebody else is. I was talking about that this morning. So if y'all got that membership, go check that video out. But I was talking about that this morning. You know, how people, if you ain't in control, somebody else is. Or it's like if you get in the car and you're in the driver's seat, then you determine where the car goes, how fast it goes, what direction it goes in. But if you're in the passenger seat, guess what? You're at the mercy of the driver. So, same concept. The only difference is you let somebody else drive your car. You let someone else control your emotions. And I keep telling y'all, the way you think is predicated upon the way you feel. You feel and then think. Even when you think, you feel. But whatever you feel determines what you think or how you think. And that determines of the action you take after that. So just knowing that process, controlling the emotion, helps you think clear to make the proper decision. A lot of us function out of the ID portion of our ego, the survival, right? So if you thinking and feeling, I need to survive, the actions that you take, you're not thinking about the future. You're thinking about right now. That's why so many people do so many impulsive things and later on they regret it, right? That's because we don't have control of our emotions. So therefore we don't control how we think or how we act. And if you ain't in control of it, who is? That outside stimulant. That's why we got so many young people locked up for doing stupid things, because we're not teaching them emotional intelligence. We're not teaching them how to express their emotions properly. So they do impulsive things. The mind is not even mature enough to make rational decisions. Not in the teenage years. That's why we do so many dumb things when we teenagers. And now, on top of that, they don't know how to control their emotions. So you get a big ball of shiznit. Bro, it's so easy to identify that. The hardest part is separating your emotions and looking at things logically. Once you do that, you will see it. You will see it. You will see when someone is a victim, right? When people are a victim, you can clearly see that. But you can tell when things are over exaggerated. Like this list is a lot of different ways to identify people playing the victim. You know, you just gotta separate your emotions and look at things logically. You know, make things make sense. Make it make sense. I mean, if things don't make sense, then they don't make sense.
You could try to play it, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains.